Dude, just went live. Oh, there.
Evie, did you want to go get your water? You can. No, go get it, bud. Go get your water. If you're thirsty, go get your water. All right, folks, we're live. I don't know how many viewers we got yet. Probably at least one. Yep, we got one. That's positive. That might be Tommy. That's on YouTube. Glad you're here with us this morning. We are out at Cotton Sports Ranch in Katy. I think we drove by at least 10 baseball complexes on our way down here. No shade. Fortunately, there is a little bit of cloud cover. No shade. We did have to pay $10 to get in, so that's positive. All right, here we go. Henry's on the mound. Travis is behind the plate. Here's the first pitch of the ball game, folks. Down low for ball one.
Hey, not a bad spot, Henry.
Henry's working out of the windup this morning. It's in there for strike one. Ty's at third base. Brenner's at short. Clint's at second. Preston's at first. Kelby's in right. Parker's in center. And Dash is in left. That's your starting lineup for the Pirates. Again, Henry and Travis as battery mates. 1-1 count here. Here's the pitch. That is popped foul for strike two. That gets hit on the roof with what appears to be about... Nope, it made it off the roof. Positive, folks. There's about 25 balls up there right now. Almost 26, but we got it back. Perfect Game's going to be happy. Here's the pitch. That is upstairs and bounces all the way back after hitting the rock wall behind home plate. Bounces all the way back to Henry. Here's the pitch. That is hit off the hands, back to Henry. He's got to make a quick throw. He does, and gets the first out of the inning. So good play, good defensive play there by Henry. Leadoff hitter got jammed. Henry getting off the mound quickly, making a play for the first out of the inning. Brings up the 2-hole for this Texas 108 team. I don't know anything about them. We didn't get the scouting report before we came. Henry's still working out of the windup. Here's the pitch. That is upstairs and bounces straight back to Henry again. Oh, sorry, bounced to Ty this time. That's almost like a hard hit baseball, folks, when it bounces off the rock wall that's behind. You would think they would put some pads up. Charging $10 an adult, I bet they make a little bit of money, at least enough to put a pad behind home plate. Here's the pitch. That's a changeup in there for strike one. One count. It's a nice complex out here, kind of. Here's the pitch. Down low for ball two. So, Sockgate 2025 is alive and well. Henry socks definitely don't fit. Blaming his mom for that. Not sure if she's listening or not. Here's the pitch. Change up in there for strike two. 2-2 count, 1 out, top of the first inning. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3. The boys are throwing it around, see if they can successfully make it around the horn. They do. Successfully make it around the horn. That's number 1 on the day, folks. We're going to be keeping track. 2 outs. 3-hole hitter for this Texas 1018 team. Here's the pitch. Down low for ball 1. Hitter threw it back. We appreciate that. Good sportsmanship right there. I like seeing it. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. Henry's still working out a lineup. Here's a pitch. Outside, ball 2. I got a pretty good spot today, folks. Normally I'm way down the first base line, but I got a good spot almost directly behind home plate. I could move directly behind home plate because there's no bleachers out here, but kind of like where I'm standing right now. Here's the pitch. Hit softly back to Henry. He fields it, throws it to first, gets the 3rd out of the inning. So Pirates retire the Texas 108 in order. We're headed into the bottom half of the first inning. Texas 108 0, Pirates 0. Thanks for joining us today, folks. It is a hot and muggy Saturday morning. Nothing like waking up at 5 o'clock to drive an hour to play 11U baseball, passing at least 12 different complexes on the way. But here we are. Boys are having fun. We stopped at Chick-fil-A on the drive down, amped them up a little bit. I hope they don't crash hard afterward. It's protein, though. Chick-fil-A, I mean, look, I'll plug them, because who doesn't like Chick-fil-A? The amazing thing about Chick-fil-A is that they have convinced the world that they're not fast food, and yet they are. Well, the Pirates are coming off of a tournament win 2 weeks ago. We were down in northeast Matagorda playing some baseball down there, a.k.a. Rosenberg. But it felt like northeast Matagorda. I think I saw the Gulf of Mexico from the grandstands. Pirates had a good tournament. Won that one. I think we played 4 games on Saturday. Started at 8 a.m. or Sunday, started at 8 a.m., finished at about 8 p.m. So it was a full day of baseball. When we get a few more viewers, we'll talk about some drama that happened in the semifinal game. All right, someone today is going to get hit by a foul ball, folks. I'm calling it. You heard it here first on KNOW. If you know, you know. Someone is going to get hit by a foul ball. It might be me, but someone's going to get hit. Our hospitality team brought out some shelter for us. I'm not using it right now because they didn't bring me a chair, but I do have cover. I think my wife's bringing a chair. We'll see. She didn't make me coffee this morning. I had to make it myself. It's pretty tasty though. It's from Ethiopia if you're wondering. All right. Parker Greer's leading off for the Pirates. Here's the pitch. Upstairs for ball 1. Parker stands in. He's moved to the back of the box. Here's a pitch. That's outside for ball 2. He's moved to the back of the box. Last tournament, he was standing up front. Looks like he's moved his position in the box a little bit further back. Here's a pitch. That's upstairs for ball 3. So Parker quickly works the count to 3-0. My guess is he's got the take sign here, but we'll see. Here's the pitch. That's upstairs for ball 4. So Parker draws a leadoff 4-pitch walk He's on first base. That brings up Brenner. Brenner, chicken dinner. A.K.A. Vlad Guerrero the third. Parker gets his lead. He takes off. That's up. Nope, that's a called strike. Parker does not go. Didn't get a good jump. He broke. Catcher made a solid throw down to second base. I think Parker probably would have been thrown out. So good decision there by Parker. Not getting a good jump. Didn't go. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt for a ball. Throw. Not in time. Parker with his 53rd stolen base of the season. 1-1 count. Here's the pitch. That's on the outside corner for strike 2. Parker gets his lead. Here's the pitch. That's upstairs for ball 2. 2-2 count. Parker's on second base. Nobody out. Bottom of the first inning. I think we're in Katy, Texas. I don't know. We'll get back to you on that. It looks like a horse arena out in the background. Here's the pitch. That one's hit up the middle. That's going to move Parker over. Shortstop over, makes the throw, and gets the out at first. So Brenner did a job, moved the runner. Parker's at third. That brings up Luke Lunar Landers. Word on the street is Luke tested positive for PEDs last night, but he's still playing. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt. Gets to the screen. That one, good read there by Parker. That one did not, it bounced up and hit the net instead of the brick wall or the rock wall that's behind home plate. So good decision there by Parker. 1-0 count. Here's the pitch. Luke hits that one off the end of the bat for strike 1. Foul, sorry. I didn't say that. Here's the pitch. Curveball, strike 2. So Luke's got a 1-2 count. He's choked way up on the bat. Should be sitting fastball. Here's the pitch. No, another curveball that he hits hard to third base. There's going to be a play at the plate, and Parker is thrown out. So that was a really good play there by the third baseman. Good heads-up baseball right there. Hard hit ball. Well, not super hard hit, but hard enough hit. Parker was going on contact. Third baseman fielded it, made a good throw to the catcher, and Parker was thrown out. So all right, a little confusion on courtesy runners. It's just a courtesy, folks. Brenner is running for Luke. It brings up Will the Thrill Hall. Here's the pitch. That's on the outside corner for strike 1. I think the take and steal was on, but Brenner, I don't think, got a good jump either, so he didn't go. Will takes strike 1. Didn't look like he was even thinking about swinging. That's upstairs for ball 1. Throw is down. Pretty good throw, but not quite in time. One count, 2 outs, runner on second base. Here's the pitch. It's inside. That was close, folks. I'm not going to say it too loud because I'm like real close to the umpire, but that was real close. But called the ball. Fortunately for the Pirates. 2-2 count. Brenner gets his lead. Here's the pitch. Outside. Ball 3. Oh, sorry. 3-1 count. 3-1 count. Runner on second base. Will's going to be looking for a pitch he can drive. Here's the pitch. Fouls that one straight back for strike 2. So that was the pitch Will was looking for. He just missed it. Full count, 2 outs with Brenner's on second base. Throw back to second is good throw, but not in time. Nice little quasi head first, quasi knee slide there by Brenner. He got the job done. Here's the pitch. Curveball. There's a foul ball. Almost had our first casualty today, folks. Full count, here we go. Will hits that one hard to the right side. That's going to get through for a base hit. Should score a run. Good throw there by the right fielder, but it does. So Will, with a good piece of 2-strike hitting, gets a RBI single to the right side. Pirates lead 1-0. That brings up Ty the hit guy, Brockman. Here's the pitch. Ty hits that one high and relative. No, it's not quite as deep as I thought it was. It is dropped by the left fielder. Will chugging to third. He's going to be safe. So Ty with a 2-out. Well, we're going to call it an E. That's not a base hit, but an E. But he's on second. Will is on third. Will probably could have got thrown out, but he didn't. So runners on second and third, 2 outs. Brings up Travis, a.k.a. the Rock Jock. Here's the pitch. That's in the dirt for ball 1. Travis is swinging his new bat. Looks like he's got some new grip tape on that bat, too. Here's the pitch. Outside, high and outside for ball 2. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 3. 3-0 count. Travis is going to be looking to hit one hard. Probably not at this pitch. He's probably going to be taking this pitch, but he's going to be looking to hit one hard when he does get a strike. Here's a pitch. That's outside for ball 4. That's a 2-out walk. Loads the bases. That brings up KP Kelby Pittman. About to have our first, nope. So we almost had our first casualty from a foul ball on our field. That one came from the other field, fell harmlessly. Here's the pitch. Curveball, swing and a miss. Strike 1. So the curveball has definitely fooled these boys. We'll see if he keeps working that. Here's the pitch. Kelby hits a chopper over to the right side, gets to the second baseman. He fields it, makes the throw for the 3rd out of the inning. But not before the Pirates put 1 run on the board. Pirates score 1 run on 1 hit. They leave the bases loaded. We head into the top half of the 2nd inning. Pirates 1, Texas 108s 0. We're going to take a quick break, folks, so that I can call my wife because she called earlier, and I don't want you guys to hear our conversation on the air. Not that it's going to. there? It's behind that white. All right, folks, we're back. Just an update. It was a puppy update, actually, was what I was getting on the phone. So the puppy, we still haven't found anyone to take the puppy. Apparently no one wants a large black dog. I don't know why. No, we had to take the puppy to Texas Doghouse today, play with a bunch of other puppies. So she was telling me how excited he was. He didn't even care that he was being left like a stray animal. Anyway, I don't know. I'm running out of funny things to say on that. Here we go. Henry's working second inning, out of the windup. Here's the pitch upstairs for ball one. Pirates lead 1-0. 1-0 count here. Here's the pitch. Down low, bounces right back to Henry. Ball two. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball three.
Let's go ahead and battle back, bud.
Hold on, folks. That's in there for strike one. I would probably good year. Here's the pitch. Hit hard, but right at Preston at first base. He calls Henry off and gets the first out. So good job there by Henry. He was down 3-0, came all the way back through two strikes. That hitter hit a hard hit grounder to Preston, but he fielded it and got the first out. So one out. Sorry for the break in the action there, folks. Andrea has a nail in the sidewall of her tire. Henry's still working out of the windup. Here's the pitch. That hit his jersey. That's unfortunate. You know, I think I've talked to you guys before. I always tell Henry if he's going to pitch, hit the first batter, set the tone. Doesn't really help if you hit him in the jersey and it's like the fifth batter of the game. But here we are. Here's the pitch. That's hit high and foul down the right field line. No one's going to get there. Strike one. Hey, 0-1 count. Henry throws over to first. Runner is back in plenty of time. Henry's just letting him know, I'm thinking about you. You're probably going to steal, but I'm thinking about you anyway. I don't know what's going through their heads, actually. They're just making stuff up. Here's the pitch. Runner takes off. Luke throws down. That's a good throw. Takes a bad hop. Bouncing. It looked like it maybe bounced on the seam between the turf. Sorry, we didn't even go through. I was on the phone, so we didn't get to go through defensive changes for the Pirates. Henry's still on the mound. Luke is behind the plate. Will's at third. Dash is at short. Kelby's at second. Preston's at first. Clinton right. Parker's in center. And Brenner is in left. Here's the pitch. That's chopper down the third base line. Foul. So 1 ball, 2 strikes. Here's the pitch. Down low. Hits the umpire right in the shin guard. Thankfully, he had a shin guard on because that would have hurt if it didn't. So 2-2 count, 1 out, runner on third base. Here's the pitch. Good stop there by Luke on a pitch in the dirt. Full count. Henry comes set, takes a look at the runner on third. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. So Henry gives up a 1-out walk. Not what he wanted to do in that scenario. Play call is on. Not sure what the play call is. We'll see. A lot of times it's a throw down to second, but the second baseman comes over and cuts it off. So we'll see. Looks like that's what they're going to do based on Kelby's body language. It's in there for a strike. Kelby does cut it off. Runner on third doesn't go. So we probably need to work on selling that play just a little bit better. A little bit too easy to read. But runners on second and third, 1 out, 0-1 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Looked like a change up there. Got him leaning. Henry checks the runners. He comes set. Here's the pitch. That's on the outside corner for called strike 3. So Henry comes back after giving up a 1-out walk and gets a 3-pitch strikeout. So Henry is done for the day. I think he reached whatever his predetermined pitch count was. And Parker's coming in. Henry's making his way out to center field. So Parker comes in with runners on second and third and 2 outs. Pirates still lead 1-0. We're in the top of the second inning out here in Katy, Texas. Henry just threw 30 pitches, so I think Ben was probably trying to keep him between 25 and 30 pitches. Probably trying to keep all these boys between 25 and 30 pitches today. All right, so we'll talk through some of the drama that we experienced last tournament. If you were with us last tournament, you certainly saw the huge comeback that the Pirates had. They were down 7 runs, and the umpires actually called the game, but it turns out that the game still had, I think, 3 or 4 minutes left, and we were the home team, so under the perfect game rules, you got to start the next inning. If there's time left, you start the next inning. So Coach Ben went out, talked to the umpires. They said, hey, yep, that's right, still time left. Game's still going. So we played another inning. The other team scored 1 more run in the top half of that inning. And so Pirates were down 8 runs. Sorry, they were down 6 runs before that. Other team scored 1 run. Pirates were down 7 runs in the bottom half of whatever that, I don't know, 4th inning, 5th inning, whatever the last inning was. Pirates ended up coming all the way back, scoring 8 runs and winning the game to go on to the championship. So one of the grandparents for the team, as soon as we won the game, grandparents for the other team stood up and yelled at us, "You cheated!" So I'm not sure how we cheated, but he said we did, so that's cool. And then one of the, so that was a little bit of drama, I don't mind that. But then one of the moms came over to me and told me that, well, we're starting with the action, so cliffhanger, stay tuned. Parker comes set, here's the pitch. Fouled off, strike 1. So I don't think that Ben meant to do this because we didn't have a scouting report before the game, but certainly brought in a lefty on lefty matchup. Works in Parker's favor for sure. He's ahead 0-1. Here's the pitch. That's hit over Kelby's head at second. Clint tries to make the play at first, and 2-run score on the base hit. we'll finish our story as soon as we get to a break in the inning. So Texas 108s lead 2-1. Runner on first base. Good move there by Parker. Not quite in time, but it was close. Parker comes set. Here's the pitch. Nope. Throws back over. Fooled me.
That boy PG?
Another good move there by Parker. Here's the pitch. A little bit outside, ball one. Parker comes set, takes a look at the runner on first. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball two. That looked good. A little bit out. Two-0 count, runner on first base. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. No, Parker with his quick move over to first. Close, but not in time. Here's the pitch. It's a little bit low, ball three. Parker really working that outside part of the plate, trying to get a strike. He's been close, but not quite in the zone. Here's the pitch. Ball four. All right, folks, runners on first and second, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike one. Good pitch there by Parker. A little bit of frustration there from these Texas 108 coaches. Got sunscreen on my sunglasses. I'm not real thrilled about that. Here's the pitch. That's hit hard, but right to dash at second. Nobody covering second base, so he throws it to first to get the third out of the inning. So had the easy out. Kelby didn't cover second. That's all right, because Dash was able to fire it to first for the third out of the inning. Pirates give up 2 runs on 1 hit. They leave. They are able to strand 2 108 base runners. We head into the bottom of the second inning. 108's 2. That's kind of funny. 108's 2. 108's 2. Pirates 1. All right, so we'll finish our story. So where we were at, Grandpa had yelled we were cheaters. We weren't, but he yelled it. So then a mom comes up to me, and this team that we were playing, it was a Katy team. I don't remember the name of them, but Katy team. They had played well. Their pitcher had completely shut us down through 4 innings, but he wasn't throwing hard. So I had made some comments on the broadcast that this pitcher is not throwing hard. And I said it just like that. I don't know. I probably need to go back and listen, make sure I didn't say anything rude, but said, you know, he's not throwing hard, but he's shutting us down. So she came over and told me, you know, that's my son, and you should really watch what you're saying because you never know who's sitting around you. And so I apologized to her. I told her I didn't mean to offend her, but I reiterated that her son was not throwing hard, and that was what shut our team down. So then she just kind of walked off, a little bit frustrated. Anyway, I doubt she's listening right now. If you're listening, ma'am, I apologize if I offended you in any way. Your son did shut us down. He was not throwing hard. That's just is what it is. Anyway, I bring that up to tell everyone there's a reason that I do this. Well, it's kind of multifaceted reason, but one of the big reasons I do it is to hopefully bring out some of the ridiculousness of parents in youth baseball. I think youth baseball is fantastic. I think the parents are the problem. And so I use this as a way to express how ridiculous parents are. I'm not saying she was ridiculous. I'm just saying everything about youth baseball that parents do is ridiculous. I.e., we just drove an hour away to play a baseball game at 8 in the morning on a Saturday and passed 10 different baseball complexes on the way. So if you don't get my sarcasm or my humor, I apologize. If you do, I hope you're laughing. Here we go. Clint's up. Here's the pitch. That's upstairs. Ball one. I also say all that to say, you know, we parents could change how youth baseball is played, but we choose not to. We choose to just keep doing the crazy instead of trying to change things. Here's the pitch. Clint hits that one high. Second baseman into shallow right center. He makes the play for the first out of the inning. That brings up Preston, a.k.a. the Lumberjack, looking to chop some wood. Preston's got his patented arm sleeve, does a couple shoulder presses. Still looking for that shoe deal. Preston's got it going on, folks. Here's the pitch. Preston hits that one hard into center field, but right at the center fielder. So well-struck ball there by Preston. Just hit it straight to the center fielder for out number 2. That brings up Dash. Dash not wearing his patriotic batting gloves today. Here's the pitch. It's in there for strike 1. Take was on all the way. Ben wanted to make sure that this pitcher had to throw a few more pitches. That hits Dash. He's taking it, though. He's not crying. In case you haven't followed our last, 10 broadcasts, if these boys get hit by a pitch and cry, they get kicked off the team immediately. Really humiliating for them. More humiliating than crying at 11 years old. That brings up Henry, a.k.a. Daryl. Here's the pitch. Curveball, swing and miss, strike 1. So these boys got some work to do on the curveball. I might be at practice on Tuesday throwing mine. It's pretty nasty. Well, I mean, if you're 11, it's nasty. If you're much older, it's pretty terrible. Here's the pitch. Nope. Throw back over to first. Not in time. So Henry's got an 0-1 count. He's got to be sitting on the fastball and adjusting to the curveball. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Dash is stealing. Good throw there by the catcher. But Dash is too fast and gets his 48th stolen base of the season. Henry stands in. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. That was on the outside corner. Henry needs to be looking for the curveball now. Here's the pitch. That's outside. Gets to the wall. Dash advances to third. That was a curveball. I don't know if I said that, but it was. Told Henry he should be looking for it. I'm close enough to where Henry might be able to hear some of my commentary / coaching. I need to stop coaching. Just keep commenting. So here we go. 2-2 count. Dash is on third base. 2 outs. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Gets to the screen. Gets past the catcher. Dash is going to score. Standing up. Great read there by Dash. So unfortunate bounce there for the Texas 108s. That catcher was on it, but then it took a funny bounce off these rocks. Dash read it perfectly and scores a run. So Henry's got a full count. He's going to be looking to get this 2-out rally going, hit something hard. Here's the pitch. It's outside, ball 4. So Henry with a good at bat draws a 2-out walk. That brings up top of the lineup Parker Greer. One count to Parker. Henry stole. He got called out, but then they kicked the ball out. That's in there for strike 2. So 2-2 count to Parker, and Henry's on second base. No, just leave, babe. Henry in a rundown. He gets back. He slipped out on the turf, but able to get back. Full count to Parker. Sorry, folks. I'm on the phone with Andrea right now. We got a tire issue. Tire Gate 2025. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 4. All right, folks. So back-to-back walks, back-to-back 2-out walks by for the Texas 108 pitcher. Runners on first and second. Oh. Coach is coming out to argue balls and strikes. He's asking about like 3 pitches prior to this. I don't know. I mean, I have a pretty good memory on pitches, but I can't even remember where those pitches were. So if you're going to... No. That one? All right, so confusion on, sorry, I thought he was arguing balls and strikes, but confusion on what the count was. I thought it was ball 4. Well, all right, folks, we're back at it. Tire Gate's alive and well. Here's the pitch. Parker hits that one foul. No casualties. No casualties, folks. Does bounce into the other field, though. All right, Parker's got a full count. Henry's on second base. Sock Gate and Tire Gate happening in the Pool family. Here's the pitch. That's upstairs, ball 4.
All is right in the universe.
That brings up Brenner, a.k.a. Vlad Guerrero III, looking to swing violently. 2 outs, runners on first and second. Tie ball game here in the bottom half of the second inning. Here's the pitch. That's upstairs and outside, ball 1. Here's the pitch. Brenner swings at that one for strike 1. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss, strike 2. So Brenner down behind in the count 1 and 2. He's going to be looking to swing or looking to put something in play, something to the right side. Should score a run if it's in the outfield. Here's the pitch. That's in there for strike 3. So Pirates score 1 run on no hits. They leave 2 men stranded. We head into the bottom of the second, or top of the third inning. Sorry, folks, I'm all over the place. It's early. Top of the second inning. Good night. Top of the third inning. Tie ball game. I'm going to stop talking. Well, there are 3 baseball fields out here at this Cotton Sports Ranch. There's also a practice field. So if you're looking to play some baseball, you probably need to be on a team that is signed up for this tournament because you're not going to get on the playing field otherwise. But if you want to practice, come out. They got a lot of turf. They got porta potties. They've got a concession stand window, but it doesn't look open, so I don't think you can get any concessions. You can pay $10 though to get in. $10 to some kids. I really hope that my credit card doesn't wind up getting sold all over the internet, but you know, I'm crazy about 11U baseball, so I just gave him my credit card and hope for the best. All right, folks, I think we're going to have to take another break for Tiregate 2025. It's not Tiregate. It was just a spam phone call.
I'm sure that bat grip was bubble tape.
All right, folks, defensively, we got some changes. Parker's still out on the mound. Luke is still behind the plate. Ty's at third. Brenner's at short. Clint's at second. Travis is at first. Will is in right. Dash is in center. And Kelby's in left. A lot of buzzards out here, too, folks. Here's the pitch. Down low, ball 1. So this is what I don't quite understand is there are porta potties here, but there are also septic tanks. The septic tanks are overflowing, which is pretty disgusting, but there's water coming out of the septic tanks if you walk over behind the porta potty. So I'm not sure why they have both, but they do out here. Here's the pitch upstairs, ball 2.
Go back and throw it. You got it?
Here's the pitch. Looked good, but a little bit outside. So 3-0. Parker looking to work his way all the way back here. Parker comes set. Here's the pitch. Gets to the screen for ball 4. No base runner.
Hey, roll it up infield.
All right, well, let's, typically leadoff walks are no bueno, but when you got Parker on the mound, it's not the worst thing because he's got a good move to first. Let's see if he shows his good move here. No, he doesn't. Slide step, strike. Parker's ahead in the count 0-1. Parker takes a look at the runner on first. He takes off. That's in the dirt. Ball 1. 1-1 count. No outs, runner on second base. Parker takes a look at the runner on second. Here's the pitch. It's hit chopper to Brenner at short. He makes the throw and gets the first out of the inning. So good play by Brenner. It's actually good base running by that base runner. He kind of stood in front of the ball, in between the ball and Brenner, until it got past him. But Brenner was able to not break his concentration, field it cleanly, fire a strike over to Travis at first. 1 out, runner on third base. Parker comes set. Here's the pitch. Changeup outside. Ball 1. Looked like Luke threw a knuckleball back to Parker. That's impressive. I don't think it was an intentional knuckleball, but it was a knuckleball. Here's the pitch. It's hit off the end of the bat, foul. Coach Ryan makes the play. He's still looking for that starting job behind the plate on this 11U team. 1-1. Here's the pitch. Nope, sorry. I looked down at my phone, looked up. The pitch was not coming. Sorry about that, folks. Tire gate has got me a little distracted. Pitch is outside, ball 2. Parker comes set. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 3. There's so many things I want to say right now, folks, but the opposing team has infiltrated our sidelines, so many things I can't say. That's in there for strike 2. Full count. A lot of things I want to say. Let's just suffice it to say the coaching on this other team is, well, it's something. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. That one hits the umpire. Luke almost able to make a diving tag. That hit the umpire, hit the, 3 different rocks on the wall, bounced somehow back to Luke. He wasn't quite sure where it was. When he found it, he picked it up, dove towards the runner, unable to get him out. So 1 run on the board this inning. Runner on first base. 1 out. Pirates trail 3-2. Here's the pitch. It's upstairs for ball 1. Luke with the throw back behind the runner. Not in time. Runner is in a rundown, folks. He's in a rundown. Clint's got the ball now. He's running him back to first. Parker's going to chase him down and tag him out. So 2 outs. Good move there by Parker to get the runner in a rundown. 2 outs. That, folks, is why walks don't hurt as bad when Parker's the one giving them up. They still hurt, just not as bad. Good job there by the Pirates getting that out. It's not a guaranteed out, so good job, Pirates. That one's hit up the middle to Brenner, unable to field it cleanly. Clint tries to pick it up, but throw's not going to be in time. So that Texas 108 hitter's on the air, and we got 2 outs. See if we can't get another rundown, folks. Parker with his quick move over. Not in time. Travis tags him on the foot just in case. Here's the pitch. In there for strike 1. That was right on the black of the outside corner. Good pitch there by Parker. throw over to first, not in time. Parker still hadn't shown his best move to this guy. Here's the pitch. That one's chopper, hit to hole in short. Brenner fields it, makes the throw. Good play there by Brenner, just not enough time to make that play. So that was hit deep into the hole between short and third. Brenner gets over there, makes a strong throw to first, just not in time.
Easy back, Pirates.
Runners on first and second, 2 outs. Fouled back. I almost didn't catch it, but 0-1. Almost got him. That was a great move there by Parker. The pick play was certainly on. Brenner came behind the runner, ran in front of him, and then timing play, that worked out. That was perfect execution by the Pirates. Just runner did a good job of getting back. Ball 1. That was really good execution by the Pirates. I think they've worked on that a couple times. Parker comes set. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. That pitch was pretty wicked, folks. It had some kind of funky spin on it, but from where I was standing, it looked like it was in and then kind of broke out, almost like a screwball. That was crazy. Here's the pitch. It's hit high and deep into left center. Kelby over, not able to get to it. Dash is going to get that ball at the wall. Runner is going to be making his way to third. There should be a play, and he should be out at third. So, not before 2 runs score, but good job there by Dash. Good job there by Dash, getting the ball, throwing it in, and Brenner fires a strike to third base. All right, so Texas 108 score 3 runs on a couple of hits. They lead 5-2. Pirates got some work to do, folks. All right, folks, we've got due up for the Pirates, Luke, Will, and I believe Ty is hitting after Will. I keep thinking I'm getting whiffs of septic smell. It is leaking over there. We clarified that earlier. The septic tank is leaking. Folks, the umpire might have the best beard I've seen in a long, long time. He kind of looks like James Harden. Not quite as tall, but that beard is real nice. I hadn't noticed it before. That is a solid beard. You know, I'm not going to toot my own horn, but I'm going to. I can grow a pretty mean beard myself. Haven't done it in a long time, but that might inspire me. All right, folks, bottom of the third inning. Pirates trail by 3, 5-2 if you're joining us late. Missed a good game. All right, folks. We're getting back to the action. Luke, Will, and then Ty due up for the Pirates. Looking to get something started. Same pitcher for the Texas 108s.
Here, Luke. Here we go.
Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 1. No casualties on foul ball so far, folks, but it's coming. Just you wait. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 1. So the Pirates have definitely been chasing some high pitches. The high heat is getting them. Haven't caught up to anything yet. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt for ball 2. Pitcher comes set. Here's the pitch. Fouled off. Potential casualty. Nope. Hitting to no man's land. That is close to where the septic tank is leaking. They may not want to play with that ball anymore. Might turn them into like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles or something. Here's the pitch. Curveball in the dirt. Ball 3. Luke stands in. He's got a full count. Here's the pitch. Luke hits that one hard to the third baseman. Makes a good play. Throws it to first for the first out of the inning. That brings up Will the Thrill Hall. He's 1 for 1 on the day. Here's the pitch on the inside corner for strike 1. Fouled off, strike 2. Umpire took that foul, I think off the thigh maybe. Certainly not somewhere that it feels good to take a foul ball off of, not where he had gear. So Will's down 0-2, probably going to be, I'm not going to say anything because he can hear me, but he's probably going to see a curveball right here, folks. But I don't want to say that, and then the kid throws a fastball, and Will's behind it. So, you know, let Will make his decisions at the plate. Here's the pitch. Curveball it was. I know a few things.
Look back and drive it. Here we go.
Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. All right, I think he's probably going to throw him another curveball right here, guys. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 2. It's not a curveball, but I think maybe his changeup got away from him. Here's the pitch. Will hits that one hard to the right side. That's going to get through for his second base hit of the game. So Will 2 for 2 on the day with 2 base hits. That brings up Ty, the hit guy. Will gets his lead. Curveball, ball 1. Ty laid off of that one. Here's the pitch. Will does not go. That one gets to the screen, bounces right back to the catcher. There's going to be a throw because of how quickly that bounced back. Will slides in safely. That was a good play there by the catcher, folks. Ball bounced right back to him. He came up firing, had a good throw down to second base, but Will able to get under the tag. Here's the pitch. It's in there for strike 1. 2-1 count. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 3. Will's on second. Ties at the plate. 1 out. 3-1 count. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 4. So 2 on, 1 out. Travis, a.k.a. the Rock Jock, is coming up, but not before. Looks like we're going to have a pitching change. This kid did well, but I think he's thrown a fair number of pitches. See if the coach decides to make a change. Ow, I just hit myself in the head with a wood bat. I've brought someone else's wood bat over. He cracked his bat. I don't know when he did it, but he cracked his wood bat. So he brought someone else's wood bat over to me. I'm holding it, pretending like I can swing left-handed, and I hit myself in the head. All right, long mound visit out here. Not sure what they're talking about, folks. It's a long time to be talking to 11-year-olds. The Pirates have had their chances. They've first inning they left 2 men stranded. Last inning they left the bases loaded. So they've had chances to score, just been unable to capitalize when they need to. See if they can change that this inning. They got runners on first and second, 1 out. And we're getting back to the action. Travis, a.k.a. the Rock Jock, stands in there. No batting gloves this time. He was wearing batting gloves last at bat. No gloves this time. That's on the outside corner for strike 1. Will gets his lead. Nobody's really holding him on. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Here's the pitch. That was way outside, but got the call. 1-2 count. 1 out. Runners on first and second. Here's the pitch in the dirt. That gets to the screen. Runners are going to, I guess, advance. Yeah, they are. So Will advances. Ty advanced as well. Two count to Travis. Probably going to get a curveball right here. There's the pitch. Yep, got it. And that's going to So Travis with he gets to first on the strikeout. Bases loaded, brings up KP Kelby Pittman, looking to do some damage. Coach is making his way out to the mound. I think we will have a pitching change now. I think you have to make a pitching change if you make 2 mound visits. So, see what happens. Yep, pitching change. Doesn't look like they've got anybody on the bench. I think they're just playing with 9. So it's going to be someone from the field. Looks like it's probably going to be the first baseman. I don't know. Lots of glove changing. Man, like 5 different gloves get changed. It's crazy. Love it. These boys need at least 4 gloves to realistically have a chance at playing 11U baseball. If you don't have 4 gloves, I don't know who you are. Four gloves, at least 3 different bats, you know, because you never know what swing weight you're going to be feeling when you get up there. A couple of different pairs of cleats. You know, you got to have it all. You got to have it all. You can't just get out there and play baseball. You got to have the stuff. If you don't have the gear, you might as well just quit. All right, bases are going to be loaded when we get back to the action. Kelby's up. We did not do a good job of hitting the curveball for that first pitcher. I think we swung and missed every single time we swung at it, which was too many times. I don't think he threw one for a called strike, but the ones that we swung at weren't really in the zone either. But you can't be mad at these boys. They just don't see a ton of curveballs, or they haven't yet. I think they'll obviously start seeing them a lot more. But just something you got to get used to seeing. You can see it, you got a chance of hitting it. If you can't pick it up early, though, you're not going to hit it. Cloud cover's been kind of nice out here, folks. I thought it was going to be really hot. It's hot and humid, but it's not as bad as it could be thanks to the cloud cover. There's some trees kind of in center to right center. Probably be a nice place to watch the game if there was a grandstand out there, but there's not. There is a grandstand on the field behind us out in what is right field for that field. So, but these younger teams don't get that. You got to work your way up to that, which I fully appreciate. Bases loaded, 1 out. Kelby Pittman is at the plate, looking to do some damage. He's been hitting the ball really well lately. He's hitting .805 career with the bases loaded. With 1 out, that goes up to .852. Here's the pitch. Kelby hits that one high. That's going to be in foul territory, out. So 1 pitch, 1 out for this 108th pitcher. That's not the at-bat that the Pirates wanted, but that's all right. That brings up Clint, a.k.a. Clinto Bean. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Clint looking to do some damage. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 1. Here's the pitch. Clint hits that one off the end of the bat. That's going to drop. Clint might be safe. He is. Throw gets to the screen. Will scores. Tied. Doesn't slide, but scores anyway. So 2-run score on the play. That brings up Preston, a.k.a. the Lumberjack. He hit it hard last time out in the center field. See if he can replicate that. Here's the pitch. He hits that one hard into left center. That's going to get down for a base hit. Scores Travis and Clinto Bean as well. So Preston with the big-time 2-out base hit. And the Pirates lead 6-5. That brings up Dash. He had to take his shin guards off. He's catching next inning, apparently. So Preston gets his lead. Here's the pitch. Dash check swings. Strike one. He did not check his swing, sorry. But he didn't swing all the way. It'd have been a strike anyway. Pitcher comes set. He's going to throw over to first. Kind of looked like a balk from where I was standing based on the fact that he moved and then stopped and then went to first. But, you know, what do I know? I just call these games. Here's the pitch. Foul tip, strike two. Good swing there by Dash. He was on it. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike three. So the Pirates score 4 runs on 2 hits. They leave one man stranded. We're headed into the top of the 4th inning. Pirates 6, Texas 108's 5. We're going to have some defensive changes. These Texas 108's coaches are not happy about that inning. They are not happy, folks, because, you know, they gave up 4 runs. That's why. But they are 11 years old. It happens. Telling them to wake up. Coach Ryan's behind the plate, looking to earn that starting job. He waves at the camera. He's doing everything he can to earn that spot. Here's the pitch. Sorry, I had to call it just so he felt like he was really catching as I called the pitch. Defensively, Ty's going to be on the mound. Dash is going to be behind the plate. Travis is at third. Brenner's at short. Luke's at second. Preston's at first. Henry is in right. Parker's in center. And Will's in left. Oh, folks, I finished my cup of coffee. It was tasty. Very, very tasty. If you're looking to order some good coffee that's not like $25 a bag, check out S&W Craft Roasters. And no, they have not chosen a sponsor here on KNOW. We're working on that, see if we can't get them to sponsor, really just because I would love to get some free bags of coffee. But anyway, S&W Roasters. They're real good. That's what I'm drinking one of their roasts this morning. It's very tasty. All right, so Pirates lead by 1 here in the top of the 4th inning. They're looking to shut this Texas 108's team down, hold them to no runs, go in, get a few more runs in the next inning, and then hold them in the 5th, see if they can't get a win.
I did a
Here we go, Tyler. Strikes, bud.
All right, here we go, folks. Ty's on the mound. Here's the pitch. Foul ball down the left field line. That's going to get down. Bounces
Get ahead.
out of play. Oh, 1 count. Here's the pitch. High and outside. Ball 1. Here's the pitch. It's in the dirt for ball 2. Here's the pitch. That's behind the hitter for ball 3. So Ty's got some work to do here. Got ahead in the count early. Has now fallen behind in the count 3-1. Here's the pitch. It's outside, ball 4. Time is, oh, okay, sorry. I was not sure why time was called. Courtesy runner. It's just a courtesy, folks. Just a courtesy. All right, back in the action. Courtesy runner on first. It's like a ghost runner, only different because he's actually there. I don't know if you ever played, like, you know, wiffle ball or baseball growing up, but you always had to have ghost runners because you never had enough players to actually have actual base runners. So ghost runners could always run the bases much better than real base runners too. Ty throws back over to first for the second time. Ty takes a quick look over, runner on first base. He comes set. Runner's probably going. Dash probably going to throw him out. That's in there for a strike. Dash with a great throw, but gets out into center. No, almost ran. Parker would have thrown him out if he had run. So Dash had a good throw there, just not caught. 0-1 count. Nobody out. Runner on second base. Pirates lead by 1, 6-5. Top of the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. That one's hit down the line at third. That's fair. Gets past Travis. That's going to score a run. So that was a strangely hit ball. I mean, it wasn't hit super hard, but it had a ton of spin on it. And it was just like spinning, got past Travis out into left field down the line for a double. So sometimes they just hit him where we aren't. Runner on second base, another courtesy runner. It's just a courtesy, folks, just a courtesy. Ty comes set. Here's the pitch. Up high. Dash is going to throw him out at third. Good throw there by Dash. Not quite in time. Runner on second got a huge jump. So that was a good throw. But he was already halfway to third by the time the pitch was out of Ty's hand. Here's the pitch. That's hit high and deep into left field. That's going to get behind Will and to the wall. So back-to-back doubles by this Texas 108s team. They take the lead 7-6. Here's the pitch. Runner takes off. Pitch almost hit the hitter, and so Dash unable to make a throw. That runner got a huge jump too, so I don't think he was going to throw him out. But big jump. Runner on third base, nobody out. Here's the pitch. Upstairs, ball 2. Here's the pitch. 3-0. Those pitches don't look terrible, but the hitter keeps ducking down, and he's getting the calls. So 3-0 count. Here's the pitch. In the dirt, ball 4. I just turned around and took a look. My son, my middle son, came over and told me he found 3 baseballs. He hit them all over what he's made into a fence. It's on the practice field anyway. He hit all 3 of them over, so he's looking for more. I look back and see where he's looking. He's looking in like 3-foot tall grass, so he may get bit by a snake while he's over there looking for baseballs, but at least he'll find some baseballs. Here's the pitch. I got him.
Runner.
Dead ball.
So hit by a pitch, bases loaded, nobody out. We need a double play here. Coach Ben makes his way out to the mound. Gonna try and calm these Pirates down. Oh, folks, it is still warm out here in Katy. My weather says it's 82 degrees. It feels like 91. The AI weather report says muggy morning with mostly cloudy skies. It's going to be a hot one later. Yeah, it is. All right, here's a fan question or a listener question. Do you think AI or actual weathermen are more accurate? Doesn't take much to be more accurate than a weatherman, so I'm going to go with AI, but let us know what you think on the broadcast. That one's in the dirt for ball 1. One 0 count, bases loaded, nobody out. Here's the pitch. That one's hit high into center field. Parker making his way in. No, Brenner making his way out. Drops it. There's going to be an out at second. Force out at second. Run scores. So, good heads-up play there by Parker. Brenner was making his way out. It looked like it was hit deeper. To me, it looked hit deeper than it actually was. Parker was not going to be able to get there, but he picks up the ball that Brenner dropped and gets the out at second. So 1 out, runners on the corners, 3 runs on the board so far this inning. Here's the pitch. Got him. And got the umpire too. That's a 2-for-1, folks. Umpire's got some gear on though. That kid just got it in the back. One out, bases loaded. Here's the pitch. Inside, ball 1. All right, we've had one response to the listener question about AI versus weathermen. That one's hit foul. Coach unable to make the play. He's not going to get a tryout on the over 35 team. I can tell you that, folks. He jumped about 3 inches off the ground on that. That's not going to do it. So the one listener response we got was that AI weather is better than weatherman weather. I agree with that. Anybody else listening wants to let me know. Tell me what you think. Here's the pitch. That's on the inside corner. Strike 2. Preston and Travis are in on the grass. Here's a pitch. That one's hit hard to Brenner. They're going to turn 2. They get the out at first, not able to get the out at, sorry, they get the first out at second, not able to get the second out at first. 2 outs, another run on the board. Pirates trailed 9-6. Runners on the corners. This will likely be the last inning, so the Pirates trying to limit the damage that's done this inning so that they don't have to score a whole lot next inning. Here's the pitch. Runner takes off, dash with a throw down to Luke at second. Strong throw there. If I'm going to make any critique of these boys, it's that they got to learn how to sell that play. It's very obvious when it happens. They'll learn, though. They're only 11. Here's the pitch. In the dirt. Good stop there by Dash. Ball 2. 2-0 count. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Good change up there by Ty. I've been corrected. Weather people, not weather men. So apologies, folks. Weather people. They're all not very good. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Sorry, not very good is the wrong. They're not very accurate. I need to be very precise in the words that I use, since that is my volunteer job at the moment. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. So Ty comes back, gets the strikeout. Pirates give up 4 runs on number of hits. They're able to strand 2 base runners. We head into the bottom of the 4th inning. Pirates trail 9-6. So it's going to be Henry, Parker, Brenner due up for the Pirates in the bottom half of this 4th inning. Pirates have got some work to do. They need at least 5 runs. Well, they only need 4 to tie it, but you shouldn't be allowed to tie in baseball, so we're not going to say that. We're going to say they need 5 runs. Sorry. That's right. I've been corrected. Stat team corrected me. They only need 3 to tie. I couldn't do simple math. Simple math says 9 minus 6 is 3. So they need 3 runs to tie, but that doesn't count, so they really need 4 runs. It's getting hot now, folks. Sun's coming out. It's behind the clouds. I was kind of hoping we'd play a team that had those sleeveless jerseys where they wore the T-shirts underneath so that I could say sun's out, guns out a lot. But maybe the second game. It's not happening this first game. Pirates looking to do some damage, put up another crooked number. They scored 4 last inning. Looking to score 4 this inning. All right. HP 10. Henry Poole is here. Hinpin. H-Town. Daryl. You just had to be there. For Daryl, you just had to be there. So we're not going to explain that one. That was thanks to Coffee Talk with Pirates Moms. That's never actually happened, but it kind of happened mid-game. They came up with a bunch of nicknames. All right, here we go. Here's the pitch. In there, strike 1. Take was on all the way.
Way back to drive it right here. Here we go.
0-1 count to Henry. He had the take sign there. Got to make the pitcher work a little bit. Here's the pitch. Henry hits that one foul down the first base line. So he's down 0-2. He was down 1-2 his last at bat, able to battle back and get a walk. So he's not unfamiliar with this situation. See if he can work hard and get on base. That's his job right now. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. I know these boys talk a lot about doing a job. They're getting better and better at understanding what their job is each time they're at the plate. Here's the pitch. Foul ball. Henry hit that one off the end of the bat. Looked like a changeup. 1-2 count.
Coming up, man. You got it.
Nobody out. Nobody out because Henry's the leadoff this inning. It's typically how that works in baseball. Unless you're only playing with 8, then you get an out for that 9th spot. Here's the pitch. Henry hits that one hard, but right to the shortstop. 1 out. That brings up Parker.
Let's go here, PG.
Here's the pitch. Parker hits that one foul down the first base line. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 1. Here's the pitch. Outside, ball 2. Here's the pitch. Parker hits that one high into left center. Left fielder over makes the catch. So Parker hit it hard, but left fielder able to move over and make that play. 2 outs. That brings up Brenner. We might get another inning out of this. Depends on how this goes. Sun is certainly out, folks. Hope you put sunscreen on if you're out here. But if you're out here, you're not listening to me. So Brenner hits that one high, but right to the left fielder for the 3rd out of the inning. And that is the ball game, folks. Pirates lose 9-6. If you're listening, we'll be back around noon. So we've got 2.5 hours to waste out here in Katy, Texas. I don't know what we're going to do. We'll find something, but we'll see you back here at noon.